just few hours before the supplementary election, but how ready is security for that election? How ready is INEC for that election? You've heard from INEC. There's a slight adjustment from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, let's take a look at security more closely. The man in charge of security here in Anambra State joins us now. Mr. Echenge. Echenge is the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State. Thank you so much, Mr. Echenge, for joining us. I know it's been a very long day for you. You look like you've not had a sleep.
For everybody.
But how is tomorrow coming?
We are very prepared for tomorrow. Anambra has 21 local government areas, and as of yesterday, results from 20 of the local government areas have been declared, leaving only Hiala. The reason was from INEC that it was security, but I know that we had enough security in place in Hiala. But whatever it is, we are good to go. We are ready to add more security to Hiala, make sure that the good people of Hiala come out massively to vote, and also to provide the needed security that they need to do that.
Hiala is the border to Olu local government in Imo State. Yes. And it seems to be things that have not really been going fantastic there around that region. What are the tendencies that are common to that area?
Well, we have had a series of attacks, especially at the Suvangu axis, which is closest to the border of Imo. And I think as I speak, we have taken care of that situation because we have deployed effectively, strategically. We are deploying APCs to man that axis, and also the military is bringing Anambra also. And we have tactical units spread all over the place. So we are ready to go.
Are you going to shut down that local government in terms of the perimeters? The reason why I asked the question is for the election, the IG made an order that the whole of Anambra State declared a curfew between 11:59 p.m. of Friday to 11:59 of Saturday night. That's to help contain any possible threat that could come externally, that could come into Anambra State. But since you have only one local government area, is there any kind of curfew imposed on Hiala?
The same standard applies to Hiala. We are going to shut down from 11:55 p.m. today and open up 11:55 p.m. tomorrow, because there were reasons why that shutdown had to be, and it also take care of issues of the entry and the exit points, people not being allowed to come in to cause any problem. So we are going to do exactly what we did with the whole state. But this time around, restricted to Hiala alone.
So, well, if you look at what happened in Hiala, from the report of INEC and some of the officials, I will come to Urumba because that was a very big drama, and you watch how that played out. But for Hiala, INEC says that there was a resistance. They wouldn't even allow them go into that community, and that was why no election happened in that area. Can you tell us, as much as you know, of the report you got later? Because I know that we spoke to you and you said, as far as you're concerned, you had it covered. And if there's any problem, it was going to be INEC issue. But what are the reports you're getting?
I still have to say that there was enough security in Hiala. INEC said that there was no security, or that is the reason the election was not held. We're going to add more security to make sure that that issue is not raised again. And that we have done.
One of the reports was that, in fact, when the report, some of the materials got into some rack, some of your men said, look, the brief we had is to stay in the rack, not to escort you to the polling unit. What makes Hiala so much of a hotbed that it looks scary for most people? Because if election held in 20 of the 21 local government areas, why is Hiala a bit difficult?
You ask those who say so, not the police. Because we are on ground, the military is on ground, and other security agencies were on ground. Ask those who say so.
I mean, they've told us why they said so. They said, look, the reason was that because there was fear to go into Hiala. and the whole of the local government. By the way, there are 323 polling units in Ihiala, about 30 RAs in Ihiala. So one we wonder what the threat is so much that they couldn't get into that place, such that it's not as though election happened in just a handful. It didn't happen at all in the entire local government, and they don't want to see people come into that area. What report are you getting?
And I should answer that question. Now the police, I still say emphatically, we were on ground with other security agencies, and as far as we were concerned, election was supposed to be there. So if INEC said there was threats, they should answer that question. But I know that for what we put on ground that day, we have almost doubled it for the purpose of tomorrow, because we don't want that issue to be raised again.
You've had an interaction with the REC. What did he tell you? About Hiala.
It's the same thing we are talking here.
Did he give you any personal report? I mean, any official report? Did he exchange any communication between both of you?
The issue was that there was a security threat in Hiala.
And so, what strategy are you employing this time around?
Well,
because you said you deployed at that time.
We know before this election, I said here that we did our threat analysis. We know places that are hot bets. We know places that we should be able to deploy massively, strategically, and we took care of that. For today, we started our deployments this afternoon, and we are all over the places. We know those places like Osumagu. We have taken care of those places as I speak. We know the place like Iseke. We have done so. We know Azia Junction. We have taken care of that. So let's see what happens tomorrow, because, like I said, we're ready. Because we cannot sit here and tell anybody that election declared in 21 states and only one local government, 20 local government, and we say that only one local government we cannot handle.
Does it embarrass you as a commander of the police in this state when they say we cannot go into that kind of environment? Does it somewhat kind of give you some shivers in any way?
But they are ready to go. They say we are holding the election tomorrow.
And I'm asking from a professional to a professional, a security professional, I'm a communications expert. And so the reason why I'm asking that question is that sometimes when things come our way as professionals, it could embarrass us, because we think that we could be able to surmount challenges, because you've been preparing for these all along. And when one local government is singled out, does it throw at you any kind of embarrassment of some sort?
We prepare for all scenarios.
So what lesson did
that's what they say. That security threats, we are ready to do more to make sure that threat is taken away.
What lesson have you taken away from that? And sometimes when you prepare and the unforeseen happens, isn't it?
Unforeseen happens, not caused by security.
Are you taking the responsibility?
Of what?
The election didn't hold there.
I should take responsibility because we deployed.
So what message are you sending out to those who perhaps are thinking that they could foment trouble tomorrow in Ihiala?
Remember that we prepared for the whole Anambra state, and that's 21 local government. That's been reduced to only one. And if we're able to take care of 20, and we have only one, I can tell you that the deployment is massive and strategic at the same time.
How many men are you deploying to Ihiala tomorrow?
I won't open up and tell you.
No, you were able to tell us that about 34,000 you deployed for the general election.
We are deploying more than 1,000 to the polling booth, which makes an average of 3-4 every polling booth. We are going to be complemented by other security agents. Then all the tactical teams, all the PMF teams, we have pushed enough into Ihiala, because we want to make sure that at every point that we anticipate a problem, we dominate the area. And for whoever wants to come out tomorrow, he will have his own story to tell, because like I said, we are not out there for the good people of Ihiala. Ihiala deserve better, because history has been made in the states. They are electing a new governor, and 20 local government can not be the only ones that will elect a governor for the state. Ihiala is the 21st or the 21 local government area. They deserve to be part of this history in the making. So they should come out.
You're going with enough firepower tomorrow.
We have enough boots on the ground and assets. They should come out and vote for a governor that they will be proud of tomorrow, that they were part of the election. And those who want to foment trouble, I don't think they have the space to do that.
Is there, I mean, if I could ask you this, because I've known you for some time now, and I know you as a very strong and courageous police officer. What can you tell us about here? Like, does it harbor some elements that are notorious in any way?
What I want to say about Ihiala, for us, Ihiala was not the most vulnerable as far as the local government areas were concerned before this election or during this election. Yes, occasionally we have pockets of incidences in Ihiala. We have pockets of a situation where people come from the neighboring state, which is Imo State, to attack some points and disappear. We're prepared for that scenario. And as I speak, whichever point they're coming from, we have taken care of it. We have boxed them out there, and we are going to do robust patrol inside to make sure that we deny them liberty or access to do anything that they want to do, which is negative.
The materials that were deployed,
yes,
the election, the sensitive and the non-sensitive,
yes,
were they still intact?
Of course they were intact. Nobody talks about the materials. Did anybody complain about the materials?
So because they were exposed, I mean, they have been deployed on the field.
They were taken to Iraq centers.
Yes.
And police were deployed to guard it. And we have been there. There have not been any incidents of any of them being taken out or any of them being tampered with.
So INEC is not sort of replacing them? They're using the same set of materials?
I want to think so.
Because, I mean, I know naturally you would have been informed to help transport materials. So we probably will assume that they're still using the materials.
Yeah, these are materials, I think, that are customized. Okay. They are meant for here. You can't even take it to another.
So it's not as if you have new materials that are taken?
No.
What about the welfare of your men? Have they been paid now?
Yes.
Because I understand they were not being paid as at a few days ago.
They have been paid.
When were they paid?
If you be that accent, they will tell you. But
no, because you are their commander. Their morale is very important. Like you say, morale high.
Yes.
And when you ask them morale, and they keep quiet, that means something is wrong, isn't it?
Very, very important. The IG was very specific on this, and he gave instruction that every policeman who came for this election should be paid. Yes, the first few days of arrival, the money didn't drop. I'm part of it. I submitted my details just like every other person has, and I can authoritatively tell you that I collected my more than 5 days back. Okay. And most of them have collected. You know, there's always this problem. Some of them maybe did not submit the accurate accounts to the pool, and they have problem. And as I speak, there was also a signal sent from first recorder that those who have not received will cross-check and make sure that they send their details accurately so that they can be paid. But that's just a very significant number, but every other person has been paid.
Because I know that in this kind of situation, you need the morale of your men, because it sort of feels like anybody coming to Anambra State, like you said, that it was the sound of war and everything was going to go wrong.
Yes, you'll be here for more than how many days with us?
Yes, and there's no loss of life. I mean, I'm very happy with that.
You're not hiding under the bed, too.
No, I'm not hiding under the bed. But you're assuring us that everything will go well tomorrow.
We're fine.
That people should go out. We want them to go and exercise their franchise.
Go out to exercise their franchise.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ekenge Cheng. Always a pleasure having you.